Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today in this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about my favorite products for breastfeeding and pumping and the schedule of it all and things that have really helped me out during this whole process. So here we go. All right, so my name's Amanda, by the way, if you don't know that. I have a 2-year-old son named Brody, and I have a 9-week-old daughter named Addison. And so during this time of becoming a mom, I've learned a lot about things that make your life easier with breastfeeding and pumping, and things that make it a little bit harder. So we'll just kind of get into some of my favorite things and the journey of it all. So with my son, I nursed him for 8 months, and then I exclusively pumped for a month. So he had breast milk for 9 months, and on his 9-month birthday, I said, I'm done. And it was my goal to breastfeed him for a year. Prior to having him, I was like, I'm gonna exclusively breastfeed. I had my expectations set very high for what it would be like, and that's just what I was planning to do. And then when he got here, it was a struggle. I would say the first 2 to 3 months, it was like okay, because I didn't know any better or know any different. But then about the 3-month mark, it got very, very challenging. And I was so determined to continue nursing and breastfeeding. And let me just say, just because those are my goals, that by no means, don't misunderstand that I'm saying that there's anything wrong with formula, because there's not. And on my son's 9-month birthday, we switched over to formula, and it was all okay, and he thrived on that. But I don't know, I just really wanted to nurse, and I wanted to breastfeed, and like I said, it was a struggle. So I had some lactation consultants at the hospital that helped me out when he was born, and that was nice, and they had good advice. Especially being a first-time mom, I had no clue what was going on, so I didn't even know how to like help him nurse well, and so they were very helpful. So usually when you have your baby, you can ask for a lactation consultant. They'll come to your room and they'll watch you nurse and tell you if you've got a good latch and all of that kind of stuff. So that is helpful. And I also, I never went through any of the it was never really painful, I guess. You hear a lot of horror stories about how painful breastfeeding is. It really wasn't for me. And I think that just means that he typically had a good latch, so it wasn't painful. So that was really nice, I guess. When you're in the hospital, one of the things that is a really good product to have is Lanolin. It is, let's see, come on, focus. This is the Medela one. There we go. And this is like chapstick for, you know, that area when you're nursing. So it really helps for you being sore and all of that. And I just used this, I think when I was in the hospital, and then mostly when I got home, I didn't really need it anymore, at least this time around with my second kid. But the first time, yeah, maybe I used it for about a week, and that was about it. So that is good to have. So when I had my son too, the lactation consultants told me, and other people told me, don't pump. They said, do not pump for the first 2 weeks. Your milk will come in, and you need to regulate your supply. And if you pump, your body will produce too much milk, and it'll mess up the regulation of it all. So I didn't pump. I listened to that. But then what happened was I had no milk stored, and my milk leveled out to be what he needed, and then I felt like I could not get ahead to get milk stored up. And so if you plan to exclusively nurse only and never give a bottle, then that won't be an issue for you. But for me, I knew that I was gonna wanna go work out sometimes, or go, you know, spend a few hours, you know, shopping with a friend, or whatever it may be. And I needed to be able to have some milk stored up so that someone could feed the baby a bottle if I wasn't there to nurse. And I didn't have that with my son. This was a constant struggle. And then if I wanted to go do something, I would be like crazy trying to pump and trying to get milk, and then feeling like there wasn't enough left for him to actually eat. Currently, it was a mess, and I really did not like that. And if we wanted to leave town for a couple of days, I was like, really, it was so stressful. And so this time around, my whole pumping and nursing routine is that I get up in the morning and I feed her when she wakes me up. And then as soon as I'm done feeding her for that morning feed, I go and I pump right away. And then I can either go back to sleep, or depending on what time it is, or get up and get my day going. And I pump once a day. So some people like to pump in the morning after they feed the baby, or at night after they feed the baby, and kind of have 2 pumping sessions a day. It's whatever you want to set it as, but you set it that way and you do the same thing every day. So I just never got good information the first time around. And so this time around, they said the same thing. They kind of said, hey, don't pump for the first 2 weeks. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna pump, because in the beginning you've got so much milk. So it's like, if you want to store some up, then you should pump. And I'm not saying pump all day long, because whatever you kind of schedule you create with pumping outside of nursing, you're gonna need to maintain. Otherwise you're gonna become engorged. It's gonna be painful. You're gonna be really full all the time. And also then it makes it hard on the baby to nurse well if you're engorged or you've got too much milk. So I just do it in the morning. It's very maintainable for me to do that every day, and it's no big deal. And because of that, I've got tons of milk stored up. Even if I feed her and then I pump and I only get 2 or 3 ounces, sometimes I'll get more than that, 4 or 5, like it just kind of varies from day to day. But I can at least store, you know, 3 to 5 ounces typically every single day. And I haven't been tapping into that at this point. So because of that, I'm like really ahead with my frozen milk storage. So that is like the biggest advice I can give if you're planning to store milk and not necessarily exclusively breastfeed. So as far as milk storage goes, these are my favorite milk storage bags, Lanolin brand. So I've tried Medella's storage bags and these are my favorite. So the reason why, I mean, it sounds silly that there would be a favorite. You can pump directly into these bags. You can hook it up to your pump, and same thing with the Medela ones. However, the Medela ones, like up here on the top where it opens up, the Medela ones have a hole on both sides. So sometimes I would find that when I'm taking the little bottle of my pumped milk to pour it into the bag, just that hole bugged me, because sometimes the milk would like fly out the other side and then you'd lose some of it, and that just feels like a total waste. So I don't like those bags. These are my favorite, and that's pretty much it. But I know that they have other brands. Target has their own brand, like, and I'm not sure how the price compares, but really it probably doesn't matter. So, but you do need storage bags if you plan to store milk. So this is the other product I have been loving. It's called a milk saver. So when you're trying to store milk and save up milk and stuff, obviously pumping is the way you do that. How do I open this? There we go. But this thing is like a little deal. You put it into your nursing bra when you are nursing, and on the opposite, so whatever side you start on with the baby, you put this in the other side, obviously. So this will catch your letdown from the opposite side, and then you can put it into a bottle and save it. And that's literally what it is. It's a milk saver, and it just catches the extra milk. So when I had my son, I keep going back to that, because as a first-time mom who had never like obviously nursed or anything like that, like I did not know anything about nursing. And I had no idea that you, like, if you start feeding the baby on one side, like the other side's just gonna leak everywhere. And that happens for like a while until your milk like stops doing that. I had no idea. So I mean, there would be times that I wouldn't put like a nursing pad in. I would start feeding the baby and I would just be drenched like in 5 seconds. And so if you're a first-time mom, just note that either you need to put like a milk saver thing in one side, or you need nursing pads. So these are disposable. They make reusable ones that you can just throw in the washing machine. Sorry, the memory card filled up, so now I'm back. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So they make reusable ones that you can throw in the washing machine. I never use those. I always use disposable ones, and these are my favorite. These are Medela, and I have tried the Lanolin ones, and they're awful. They really are. They don't have good sticky stuff on the backs. They don't stick well. I hate the texture of them. These are just the best ones that you can get. Come in these little packs, and you just stick them in your bra. So you will need to use these for a while. And so definitely get some of these. And like I was saying, just put them in your nursing bra, or even if you're not with the baby, put them in, especially in the beginning, just in case you start leaking or something like that. You'll be glad that you had them. So, and I do want to say, like, this time around with my daughter, nursing has been such a better experience. Like, that's the other thing is that I'm trying to say is that from kid to kid, it can be such a different experience. Like, going into having her this time, I was not excited to nurse. I was like, ugh, this is gonna suck, because it was so hard the first time. And I even went with Brody, like I went and saw multiple lactation consultants after the fact. I went to like a breastfeeding support group one time. Like, it was just hard. And so this time around, like from the minute they put her on my chest when she was born, she was trying to nurse, and I was like, whoa, because my son didn't do that, and she was way more like into it. And then she like had like an amazing latch, and like to this day she's doing so well. She's thriving, and it's so easy with her, and I'm like shocked by it because it was so different than with my son. So you may have a completely different experience, and honestly, I went into it this time with basically no expectations, since the first time I was like majorly let down by the experience versus what I thought it would be like. And so this time it's been much more pleasant, and I'm really happy about that. But anyway, so I also this time around have no timeline. I'm just rolling with it as long as it's working for her and for me. So okay, so the other thing I'm going to talk about is you're going to need a pump, obviously. This is a Medela pump, and what is this called? Pump and Style Advanced. It's kind of a basic one, but it works great. You just hook this up to the little bottles and stuff. Those are in the kitchen right now, and you plug it in the wall. So this one does not work on batteries like some do, but it's just kind of a basic one, and it's all I really need. I don't take it, I mean, if I do take it with me, usually I'm near a pump, so it's, or a plug, so it works fine. And I did get this through my insurance, so I'm gonna link all of these products below, and I'm also gonna link the Medela website. So when you go to Medela's website, if you think that you may be able to get a pump through your insurance, you just go on there and you like put in your insurance provider and something else, and then somebody will reach out to you and tell you what you qualify for to get from your insurance company. So I got this one totally free. You can get, they did give me an option that I could have upgraded if I wanted to pay like an extra $100 or something, but I thought, you know, I just need a basic pump. Like, I don't need anything like crazy, and this one does the job just fine. So I thought, why spend the extra money? I'll just get the one that they're gonna give me. So so go on there and see if you can get a pump through your insurance or whatever. So let me think. Oh, okay, so the other thing are nursing bras. So this will make your life so much easier. With my son, I didn't have nursing bras. I just would wear my sports bras or whatever, and I would just pull them down, and it just like, it made it all harder. I don't know. I think it's worth getting some nursing bras and having something that just works well. And so my favorite nursing bras are from Amazon. The brand is Hofish, H-O, fish. I don't know, weird, but they're like $25 for 3 bras, and they're the best. They're great. I've also bought one from Target that just that one alone was $22, and I like the ones from Amazon way better. They're nothing beautiful or special. They just clip down like all nursing bras, and so I'm not even going to show them to you, but I will link them below in case you want to check them out. They are great nursing bras, and they're so affordable. I mean, a lot of people, you can go and you can spend $60 on one nursing bra. I don't really see the point of that when these work great. And you know, for me, it's like, who knows how long, I mean, unless you plan to nurse for like a year, I just didn't want to invest in really expensive bras. I just wanted what I needed and something that would work good, and these work great. Okay, so as far as our nursing schedule, I told you that we were pumping in the mornings after I feed her, and during the day, I nurse her every 3 hours, and then at night I let her go as long as she'll go. So typically my last feed is between 10 and 10:30 at night, or her last feed, whatever, and then I let her sleep until she wakes me up, and she usually wakes me up about 7 to 7:30 in the morning. So she's doing pretty long stretches now. Like I said, she's 9 weeks old. But also, you know, your pediatrician or your child's pediatrician will give you the okay to let them start sleeping longer at night whenever their weight is they're gaining weight well, and whenever it's a good time to start that. So we got cleared for that the first week. So I fed her every 3 hours during the night until she was a week old, and I found it challenging because she's so sleepy and you have to wake them up, and she didn't really nurse well in the night because I don't think she was really hungry. So once we started letting her sleep longer, she was doing really long stretches and was nursing much better because she was actually hungry. So, and the last thing I will say is, regardless of if you're nursing or formula feeding or bottle feeding or pumping exclusively, like whatever you plan to do is great. And also try, I would say if you're a first-time mom, like just go into it like excited and with not putting so many expectations and pressure on yourself or what you plan to do necessarily. Just enjoy the process and just see how it goes, you know. And I think that it's good to push through, like if you want, and if it's your goal to keep nursing, like go for it and do it. But for me, like once I got to the point with my son where it was such a stress, and it was like taking away my quality of life, and I wasn't enjoying it all with him anymore, that was when I just quit beating myself up, and I just said, you know what, like I'm gonna switch to formula. And I did, and it was like a weight had been lifted off of me. So I think that no matter how you do it, like good for you, and you know, you're doing a great job. I know that sounds cheesy, but it's like sometimes you just need to hear it. And all the mom guilt and the mom shaming out there, like just forget about it all and just do what's right for you and your baby. So that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.